Welcome back to this series on how to treat your triggers, how to protect yourself from being triggered, from emotional and disturbances in your body. This week we're discussing anger. If this is your first time with us, please go back to the first episode of this series to learn those techniques I've shared earlier on about how to protect yourself. When you're doing a therapy on energy disturbances such as anxiety, we don't want to trigger you in this process. We prefer to keep you safe. So the practices I teach in the first 3 or 4 episodes, practice them now as we do this process. In a session, just 2 sessions before, we dealt with anxiety and explained about how anxiety was held in our thumb. And by sucking a thumb, we could relieve anxiety. This is the same for our anger. If I were to ask you which finger you use to express anger, you'd know it. It's in your DNA. You learned it in childhood. I don't think anyone actually taught me which finger to use for anger. I just knew it. So if I were to ask you to express your anger to me, or to anybody, you know that you use your middle finger. When you want to express anger using your hands, you give someone the finger. The middle finger holds your anger and the release point for releasing your anger. When we give someone the finger, there's no fear involved. It's pure anger, pure rage, no fear. I'm giving you the finger. I'm telling you I'm very angry. And we release anger. By holding up our middle finger towards somebody, we allow ourselves to release anger. In the episode on anxiety, I suggested that you suck your thumb. As a child, when you suck your thumb, you relieve anxiety. But like that, as adults, we can't very well walk around sucking our thumb. And likewise with anger, we can't very well walk around sucking our middle finger. So in the same way, using the palm of your hand, this center point in the palm of the hand we mentioned was about panic. You hold the tip of your middle finger against that point in the palm of your hand. Wrap your fingers around it gently. Place your hands into your lap. And using the breaths, the 3 breaths in episode 3, I think it was, the sigh, the yawn, the cough. You breathe in healing energy from the universe. And you release your anger. Now before you start, you give yourself a score. You mentioned this in an earlier episode. -10 is the worst anger you could possibly have. You're going to kill somebody. -1 is maybe you're annoyed. 0, you're numb to your feelings. And then +1 to +10 is how free you are of your anger. You give yourself a score before you start. Maybe it's a -7. And then you do the practice. You do this practice for 3 minutes at a time. The sigh, the yawn, the cough. Over and over again for 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, you stop. Drop your hands down and relax. And look at your score. I have had clients who have done this, and within 3 minutes they have a huge release. They can't believe the change in them. Other people have taken longer. This is all new to you. So it may take you 1 increment of 3 minutes. It may take you 10 increments of 3 minutes. This is a technique you're learning for you, not for me or for anybody else. A technique you can learn for you. So stick by it. Go with it. Go with the flow. See what happens. But over time, I think you're going to find this will help you to alleviate your anger without drawing attention to yourself, without being confrontational. My name is Richard Tierney, and thank you for joining me this week. And next week we'll look at fear.